I quit content creation for 3.5 months. I was burned out. I was stressed by it, and I felt it did not have a purpose in my life. Turns out I was wrong. I'm here making another piece of content, and I'm gonna keep doing that. But the issue is that I became detached from my purpose, from feeling connected to the stuff that I was making. And I think a lot of that comes from the fact that I was starting out. And when you start out, you tend to try to mimic the experts or the people that came before you, the people that gave you a video, a piece of content, or sold you a course and said, you should do this too. Here's how I do it. And I have, in some of my other videos, I've talked about how that can not be great experience. But in truth, I think learning from another is good. You need to experience other people's perspectives and their style in order to start to figure out your own. You need to try different things out. And I did that. I talked about how content creation can move you closer to your dream life. Video linked on the screen. You can check that one out if you want. But funny enough, I was learning my voice at the time, and it's not a lie. Starting to create content did change my life. It gave me more excitement and passion about sharing what I am going through in life, sharing my thoughts, beliefs, perspectives, even sharing my experiments and trials that failed, if you will, or didn't turn out the way that I had planned. But I still learned from it. It still changed my life because it made me more eager to share. It made me start to reconnect with things that I was passionate about, things that I know, things that could help other people. And it started a new era where I wanted to share. But the reason I quit was because I needed to recenter and find my authentic self again. I was mimicking other pieces of content that I'd seen, doing it in my own style, but I wanted to reconnect with some things that I had lost, things that I had thought I needed to repress in order to pursue this path of creating content long term. What those things that I repressed were creative pursuits. That is writing, and not just writing for online, but writing my experiences into a longer form piece of writing content, into a longer form of writing, like a book. So I stopped creating content and I worked on writing my memoir about my creative pursuits. It allowed me to revisit all these chapters of my life the last 10 years, why things happened the way that they did, and when disappointments happened, how I reacted to that, and how I handled trauma and difficulty in life, challenges, deaths in the family, breakups, new jobs, moving, my dog dying, how that affected my creative output. Because I was trying to do it all. I was also into music and wanted to make narrative films with actors. And I had all these phases of my life where I did that. But when I pivoted and moved to something else, I wanted to examine the why behind that. And so I did that through writing. And I wasn't sharing it online that much. I made a couple of reels about the fact that I was writing a memoir. But, just to celebrate my small wins. But taking that time off allowed me to reconnect with the why behind a lot of these things. So at the end of the memoir, it catches me up to the present. And I had been working a job in digital marketing for 3.5 years. We did video production. I did email marketing. I was wearing many hats. I only have one hat today, but it's my thinking cap. So I'm thinking out loud. I hope my unscripted video isn't too terribly jarring and all over the place. I hope I have a cohesive narrative going here, thread of content. Let me know if I'm deviating at all for anything, if I could do anything better. But we're winging it here. And I wanted this to be a raw piece of content, and I like that sometimes. So I quit content creation for 3.5 months. It was just a hiatus in order to reconnect with the why behind things. And I noticed all these themes in the memoir that I wrote, where I really wanted to live an authentic life. I wanted to be true to myself and explore my spirit's curiosity in the world, in my life. And at times, that is very hard to juggle, because sometimes you have to do things that aren't aligned with that in order to make money, to support yourself, to support your survival. And that's hard. That takes a lot of energy out of you to do that, especially if it's 8 hours a day or more with a commute. If you're doing that, I've had in-person jobs before too. And it takes a lot out of your focus, your ability to focus and your energy, especially when you're working during the peak hours of your day. And then if you also want to throw in working out, socializing, other things that are important to you, maybe you have responsibilities, other responsibilities outside of your work, that's hard. That's draining on pursuing extracurricular things that might fulfill your sense of purpose. So I reached a point in my creative journey where I was upset that I hadn't had the success that I had envisioned. I wanted to be able to support myself from my creative pursuits, and it didn't happen. So I got distracted easily and kept pivoting and shifting based on the situations that life threw at me. And I realized that I was just channeling my life experiences and emotions into the art pieces that I was trying to make, whether it was a book or if it was a narrative film. I would often put my personal life into that in some way. I'd collage it in some way, but I channeled that into the works of art, into songs that I would write. And I realized that that's part of the journey. And creating content is really no different. You're sharing your experiences, you're processing your experiences through that. The reason I quit content creation for 3.5 months, digital video stuff and writing online or creating videos for online, was because I had gotten detached from sharing from my personal experiences. I was trying to talk about the big buzzwords or the big topics of the day about content creation without bringing my own authenticity and personal stories into the mix. I wasn't leveraging my own personal experience as much as what was happening. What I like to call your personal lore. Lore is your story, your legends of your life. I think we all have personal lore, and when we are able to harvest that personal lore in a healthy way, we're able to understand the place the experience had in our lives. When we can then talk about that to other people and share our personal experiences along with the lessons learned, we're in a really good place to be able to inspire people. They call it the influencer nowadays, but you can influence people to, I like saying inspire better. I like to say inspire people to take action and improve their lives for the better based on your own personal lore. And that, I think, is the heart and the true positive spirit of content creation. You are processing your personal experiences, packaging it into something that is digestible for other people, and then recording that and distributing it online, because that's how it reaches a bunch of people these days. And I do still think there's a place for a written book, for other forms of expression, music, art, pottery, painting, whatever it is, dance, snowboarding, your personal style, it's self-expression. The realm of content creation needs more of that. I think the problem that happened was that content creator wasn't really a term like a decade ago. It wasn't huge. as people started to figure out that they can make a living or a side income from their personal stories, from distributing digital messaging online, it blew up as a fad, and people were like, oh, you can make a living off of just making short, easy videos, and you can do it with your cell phone if you want. And I'm recording this on my phone. I didn't even bring my nice camera. I got a microphone on the top. But when people figured that out, they wanted to share that, and people got really into this idea of what it is. But they got so into the hype around it, behind the strategy, behind the idea of being a content creator, that it removed them from the thing that lights them up, the thing that they're passionate about, their personal style of sharing their personal lore and sharing things that are exciting to them. And so I just want to say that I think we're in a new era where flashy gimmicks and big promises that might be lacking soul aren't necessarily the way anymore. I think there's a vast variety of forms of content that we can share, different subjects, but the thing that's going to get people to engage with it is going to be the personality behind it, the soul behind the content. So if you're going to be making content for the internet, don't pursue the flashy gimmicks. Don't pursue the vanity metrics. That's what I call it, vanity metrics. Like, oh, I got this many likes. I got this many comments. I got this many new followers from this. You might get that, but are those people going to remember that piece of content the next day? Like they remember the words to a song? Like they remember their favorite scenes in a movie? Like they remember their favorite books? Probably not. But they will remember you and your style, your personal style, which emanates from your soul. So remember to put your soul into your content. That's all I was trying to get at with this little rant for you. So I'm at the end of this video. If you liked it, give me a like on the video. I'd appreciate it. Drop me a comment on what you thought about it, or if you'd like to open a discussion about this topic, let's chat in the comments. You can also follow me on my other accounts and connect. I have all of them: X, Instagram, TikTok. I got a LinkedIn. I'm mostly probably on X and Instagram, but I post on TikTok too. And yeah, if you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. I will be posting more about this in the future. Sometimes we'll have high production value with my nice camera. Other times it's just going to be raw campfire talks or walks in the woods. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next video. Remember to put your soul into your content and wear your thinking cap. Adios.